Hey y'all, I am currently in my basement hanging out with my kids, and I am setting myself to a pretty monstrous task. Now, this space, the room that I'm in, is one of the few big empty rooms that we have in our basement that currently are just storage for stuff. This one has a bed in it. Sometimes people stay in it whenever they come. But we are currently just about to embark on this big project of just like redoing this whole space and making it a lot nicer. And in that, finishing out what will be our music room, what will be our daughter's bedroom, and what will be my studio for filming and, you know, working on leather, writing, all of that. Right now, this room, however, all it has in it is a little bit of furniture and my seeds. My big, massive bin of seeds where I come out and can spread it out and look for what I need. I don't have a lot of organization to it. I'm trying to fix that. And today, my big goal is to sort these out. I got these boxes from Michael's. They were like $2 each, and they're just these shoe boxes, and they're all different prints, and they have a place on them where I can put like what type is in there. And so today I'm just like sorting through all of these and getting them separated by type. And while I'm at it, I'm looking for some things that I can start in my greenhouse. Some of the seeds, boys are over there doing a puzzle. Good job, guys.
Good job.
I also am putting together a few different packages of seeds that are going out to giveaway winners, as well as just a couple of people that are going to be getting some fun packages in the mail from me. I often get asked if I keep my seeds in the freezer, and the answer is obviously no. I don't have enough freezer space to store all of these, and the freezer space that I do have is used to store the food that we've grown. But I do keep my seeds in my cool, dark basement. You know, I don't keep them in a place that's hot. I don't think it ever gets over about 65 in this basement, and through the winter sometimes it's even cooler than that. I keep them kind of far away from the fireplace, back in this back room where, you know, occasionally I'll pull them out and go through them upstairs, but for the most part they're stored in a pretty cool place. And I have not had any issue whatsoever using seeds that are over a few years old. One year my friend Jake gave me this big box full of seeds he'd gotten on clearance from the Dollar Tree. They were like 20 cents a pack. And I think they were from like 2013, maybe 2012. And I was still growing out of those seeds last year, like the garden, or this year. The garden that you guys saw all summer, some of those seeds were, you know, 6 years old, and they grew just fine. So I don't stress just a whole lot about keeping my seeds in a like really preserved space, because in my experience they still grow fairly well with what I've been doing. However, I do want to get some sense of organization so I know what I have, so that I can share easier, so I can use what I have. Like, I didn't end up growing a lot of the cool stuff that I had this fall just because the seeds kind of were just all thrown together and I never got around to planting them. So I'm doing these boxes, and when we redo that room in there for my studio, we're gonna do some shelving so I can organize my boxes and know what I have where. It'll just be easier to navigate. Now, a couple of the things that I'm doing today as I sort all of these seeds into these boxes. I've got, for instance, like a bean box here. This one's already getting kind of full, so I'm going to start a second bean box. And basically, I'm going to use as many boxes as I need to get all of these sorted with like type. But as I go, obviously I've got packages that I've planted out of. Now, you're familiar with this thing if you've got any sort of seed saving going on. You know, kind of like a half-used pack that's all rolled up because you don't want your seeds spilled out all over. One of the things that I've decided that I'm going to start doing with packages like this is using washi tape to close them. I got these assorted washi tapes for like 30 cents each at Michael's. And okay, I admittedly love colorful things. I like things to be, you know, kind of hodgepodged and bright and cheery. So I'm kind of a washi tape kind of girl anyway. However, I have functional purpose for choosing this. Washi tape is meant to be stuck and unstuck. So since it's so often used in like scrapbooking, it's a good adhesive. However, it's not going to tear your paper. It's not difficult to open and then close again. So I'm going to take all of these packets that have been open and started, and I'm just going to put a strip of washi tape across them so that I don't have to worry about them spilling out in the rest of my seeds. Plus it is just kind of cute and that makes me happy. Y'all want to see a cool seed? I hope this video isn't just like crazy all over the place, but I just came across this package, and when I first opened these I thought they were some of the coolest seeds I've ever seen. Aren't those neat? What do y'all think?
Can I hold one?
Yeah. Those are neat, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, put it back. These are Pippian from Tuxpan squash. I haven't grown them yet. I just got them this year. Thought those were neat. Quail are looking lively today. They're skittish little things. I like when they start hopping around. It's funny.
They're very fast.
Every time we brood birds in the winter and end up with a bunch of animals in our basement, we always say we will never brood birds in the winter again. They've doubled in size. Look, a lot of them are starting to get a lot of real feathers. Look how much bigger they are. When they first hatched, I was holding them with just these 3 fingers. They are about the size now of like a freshly hatched chicken, except for look how many real feathers they have. I'm not anywhere near done getting my seeds situated. I just spent 2 hours down there getting them all in different boxes and separating them all out, but I am not done. I'm not complaining. I think that it's probably like one of my favorite tedious jobs to do, to organize seeds and sort them and send them out to people. However, I was kind of like, okay, I gotta stop. I gotta get other stuff done today. And then Maya called me as soon as I got upstairs and said, hey, we're gonna start working on the basement this weekend. So you gotta get all those seeds organized and then stored somewhere upstairs, because we're cleaning out a lot of the stuff in the basement. We're putting it all in storage so that we can remodel it. So yeah, now I have like a purpose in playing in my seeds for hours. So I will finish sorting them today and start packaging up envelopes to send off to people. But I just wanted to show you guys the things that I'd pulled out to take out to the greenhouse and start trying to grow. Now, my greenhouse is not heated right now. I shared with you guys whenever we put the lights up and made it a really beautiful space, cleaned it out. And I did put a big black tub of water in there, and I think that is helping maintain the night temperature a little bit. It's not getting so cold in there that the tomatoes that I pulled out of the garden have died. They're maintaining, so I know it hasn't dropped below freezing in there yet. The things that I do have, like there are some things that were little sprouts. They're growing a little on the slow side, so I definitely do want to get some heat. Someone suggested insulating with bubble wrap, and I think I'm going to try that. And I also found like a garage heater on Amazon that was relatively affordable and had pretty good reviews, so I'm thinking about possibly doing that. If you have any suggestions for like a heater that I can use to keep the greenhouse warm. A lot of the things I'm finding that are marketed for greenhouse heaters are very expensive with very poor reviews. And then there are also some like little Pinterest ideas like tea lights under a pot and different things like that that I think might be able to add some supplemental heat, but I'm looking for something really consistent, because if I'm gonna start plants out there, I don't wanna risk somehow the heat, you know, going out and them all dying. So yeah, looking for heating recommendations. If you've got any, I'm all ears. But I have chosen some varieties here that do okay in the cool weather. I think that if it stays relatively cool there, they might germinate just really slow and grow really slow, but I think that they'll still germinate, maybe, hopefully. And truly, this is all experimental. It's a possibility that I will get nothing off of this except for the enjoyment that I love to have my hands in the soil, and it will make me happy. So I've got a few pansies. If I can get these to germinate and grow, they should do fine even in a coolish greenhouse. The reason why I was gonna go ahead and start these is just to have some color out there. Same thing with this calendula. So these are just flowers because no matter what the space is, I love to have flowers in it. Just blooming things bring me joy. I've got some lettuces, one of my tried and true, Marvel of 4 Seasons. This Rocky Top mix from Baker Creek is probably my favorite salad mix of any that I've tried. I also have just like this mesclun mix here. It was an open pack, and I figured this one would be a good one to sow out there because it was already opened.
Looking for that where this goes.
And also a couple of other lettuces here. Red Wing lettuce mix. Now these are all reds. And Flashy Butter Jam, one of my favorites. It's really beautiful, good and soft, just like I like my lettuces. Some arugula, which does great in the cool, so I figured this one would be a good one to go ahead and get started out there. Kale, did I already say this? I might have already showed you this. Now this one I'm really excited about, and I really hope that I can get a harvest off of this in the greenhouse. This is an extra dwarf Popjoy. This particular package is from Tradewinds Fruit, but I think several people have this. They carry this at several places. I planted like half of a 4x4 foot bed with this, which is a little plant, so that's a lot. And my goats had made it out of the fence, through the woods, and into the back corner of my garden. Thankfully, my dad came over. I was in the house with kids, not looking out at the garden, and my dad came in and he was like, hey, you put your goats in the garden to clean it out again, because I've done that in years past. And I was like, no. And he said, oh, your entire goat herd's in your garden. And I just like took off running out of the house, you know, grabbed the feed bucket, shook it. It was one of those moments that probably would have made a great YouTube video, but you know, I was more concerned about saving the plants. They actually didn't kill that much. A couple of squash plants, a couple of bean plants, and all but one of my dwarf Popjoys. I got one tiny little precious, delicious dwarf Popjoy, and so I want to try this again in the greenhouse because I really liked it. I've got some Dinosaur Kale, which is one of my absolute favorites to grow. It was one of the things my kids were the most excited about in their garden that got, and it got destroyed by the dogs. So I'm gonna grow that really for them. Some tarragon and sage, just a couple of herbs.
Dinosaur Kale.
Ezra loves Dinosaur Kale. Yes, you do, don't you? What's your favorite? What's your favorite way to eat kale?
Eat it piece by piece.
Piece by piece. Do you like it when we have kale in soup?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like?
I eat it out.
You eat the kale out of the soup. That's right. Do you like it in eggs?
Yeah.
Kale and eggs. Do you like kale chips?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite? Ezra can put away some kale chips. So I got sage and tarragon, a little bit of endive, and a radicchio Rouge de Verona. It doesn't have a picture, but it's a pretty loose, bright red head, and it's supposed to be kind of a spicy one. So that's what I'm gonna put in my greenhouse. And I'm also probably gonna pull a few packages of radishes and start a tray of microgreens. But I'm not 100% sure because I don't know how they're gonna do well with the cool. A lot of days we're having, it's like 50 degrees, so it's like 75 in the greenhouse. So some days it's completely, totally warm enough, but here in Arkansas, literally at any moment, we could be, you know, covered up in 3 inches of ice with highs of 20. So I don't know, I'm just a little nervous, but these are things I'm gonna try and get started, and maybe before it becomes an issue, I can figure out the heating situation out there. Did y'all bring your puzzle up here to do it here?
Yeah.
What does your sweater say, Ben?
Naughty. Naughty.
On the naughty list? You're not naughty, are you? No. You should change it.
Hi.
Make it say nice.
It's nice.
Oh, like this. There you go.
That's a naughty one.
Now it says on the nice list. Did your brothers tell you that that says naughty?
We don't know how to read. We do not know how to read.
You're working on it, huh? All right, y'all. Not a very eventful day here today at Roots and Refuge, but thank you anyway for hanging out with me. As soon as the oldest boy steps off the bus, me and these babies are going to the movies to see The Grinch because we are getting into the Christmas spirit. We're gonna wear our Christmas sweaters and go watch a movie. And then probably in the morning, I'm going to set to planting this stuff in my greenhouse. And I still have garlic I have to get in the ground. I'm so behind on some things. Thankfully, our weather has been pretty forgiving of me this year. So thank you again for watching. I bless you, I bless you, I bless you. Until next time.
Mommy, you're on a nice list.
You think I'm on a nice list?
Mom, can I do a video?